Chubstep.
Jrad.
Creating the oil of judgment.
Steed. Chubstep.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the king of the jungle.
This is Dulé Hill, a.k.a. Gus Silly Pants Jackson. But you know what? You can call me the number one fan of the number one podcast in the world, Chubstep.
Captain, got a second?
It's Captain.
What did I say?
Captain? Like Captain Crunch?
All right, but to be fair, Captain Crunch was a war hero and the primary male role model in my house growing up, so...
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
The show started.
Welcome to huge episode, big episode.
Woo!
Energy levels are
in
up.
the air.
High through the roof energy.
Because tell them why, Jay.
Patriotic energy. We have Patrick Bertoletti, number 2 ranked eater in the world. He just won the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. He's coming on for an interview. So here it is.
Buckle up. Wait, no, because he's driving. Cut that out.
Recording live from somewhere.
Welcome to the show, Patrick Bertoletti, number 2 ranked eater in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Newly number 2 ranked eater, although I was number 2 like a very long time ago, but it feels pretty good, man.
Yes,
yeah, it's awesome.
Exactly. It's awesome. Obviously, big news. Well, there's actually two huge news recently. One is obviously the Nathan's, winning Nathan's 2024 champ, 58 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. For that, Patrick, I was driving to Minneapolis or northern Minnesota, and I have a new son, and the only time of the whole 8-hour trip that I wasn't driving, I had my wife drive so I could sit in the back seat and watch it on the phone, the hot dog eating contest, while my son was screaming next to me. Because he didn't appreciate it yet, but at one point he'll be watching too. The other big news, you just set the Emily record with 18.475 pounds of blueberries in 8 minutes.
Which is insane.
Which is insane. Yeah.
That's so impressive.
Yeah, to me that's more I think that's way more impressive than 58 hot dogs. I mean, 58's good, but I'm very happy with that one.
Yeah, I did the math on your bib sheet. It's based on your weight, what it says in your bib sheet online, and the amount of blueberries you ate. After the competition, you were 9% blueberry.
I love that.
Yeah.
Although I think they call that license math, where I am not 190, but
Yeah.
I applaud them for not beating my weight. So.
Well, again, listed
probably,
weight. I did it listed weight.
Probably like 6%. I'm like 225,
Okay.
so it's still pretty good. But the best one was the Black Widow a long time ago. I think she ate 10% of her weight in cheesecake, which is pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like what you hear about a lion can eat 20% of his body weight or something. Yeah, people can do that too, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. So, Patrick, I know you've been all over. I've heard a lot of your interviews recently, been all over the place. But I could tell, obviously, from your emails back and forth, you've been most excited for this interview.
Dude,
so thank you.
I love a good podcast, and I don't know, man. I'm not super extroverted, but I know it comes with it, and I'm just happy that people still want to talk to me. So.
Okay, so I was going to give you our qualifications here, Patrick, for food-wise. This is a little more hot dog specific, but we recorded our 400th episode of the podcast at Flub-a-Dub Chubs. I don't know if you're familiar with that hot dog establishment.
Oh, yeah. In Des Plaines, right?
No, it's actually in Lincoln Park, in Chicago, Flub-a-Dub Chubs. Yeah, it's kind of in a basement underneath a bar. We recorded that.
I know that one. Yep.
Okay. I went as Joey Chestnut, and my pregnant wife went as a hot dog for Halloween last year. So I made my own mustard belt, which now you possess. And we actually brought hot dogs that were pre-made hot dogs in a bag at Lincoln Tap Room and had people do mini competitions during this open bar session. And then the last thing, here's my last qualification. My sister had her rehearsal dinner after party at the Wiener Circle. We rented out the relish room, and it was her name was on the front of that. I just had to have those. I have much less qualifications than you, but I just wanted that's my expertise of things.
I think that qualifies you.
Okay.
Yeah, I applaud that.
Yeah, we also talk about hot dogs a ridiculous amount on this podcast for a non-hot dog centered podcast.
Exactly. So, okay, we'll start at the beginning. How did you get started in eating?
I just always loved to eat. Never had to chew my food, and did some events like as a teenager. I think I won one, and then one time I ate a bunch of hot dogs on my lunch break in high school. And my first event really was when I was I think 18 or 19 at Bocce's Pizza in Chicago. So
yeah, the massive pizzas. I used to get those at work. We used to order those because they could feed like the entire office with one pizza.
Yeah, they don't fit through. It's a 24-inch pizza, and I remember one year I was training and I bought it, and it did not fit through the revolving doors. So that was impossible. Yeah, you couldn't like go through it. So yeah, I think I got fourth in that. I tied for third with professional. I got fourth to eat off, and then I swore it off because I felt really, really bad. And then I don't know, like a couple of weeks later, I signed up for my next one, and then I just kind of, through not knowing any better, I just kind of stumbled into professional eating. It just, that's it. You know, it took me years, but been up and down, been through it all. Been here, you know.
What tip would you give your 19-year-old self then, knowing what you know now?
I don't think I would change anything. I think all I would say was just to be very cautious with social media. People don't need to think, they don't need to know what you're thinking all the time. Like my old Twitter account, I took it down because it was like, this is not going to age well. And not that I'll get Me Too'd or canceled, but
yeah.
Stuff like that. Like, this is like really, I think it's funny, but just because you think something is very funny doesn't really translate. And that's it. I mean, the whole journey, I can give myself training tips, but I don't think it really matters. Like I'm happy where I am now, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah, you clearly did well, and we did the same thing on, I think, like a year ago on this. We went through my old tweets and trying to cancel me, and I ended up I deleted that Twitter. It was wild.
Yeah.
nothing bad, but it was just like, okay.
Yeah, I probably should have said that.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of bogus when like 16-year-old athletes, they go back. I mean, you say some messed up stuff, it's bad, but it's different. You know, it's like some stuff you can obviously just never ages well. And like, it's funny though, because I used to always give Joey Chestnut crap. We're good friends, but now I see it from the other side, because his interviews are really by the books, and he doesn't really go out of his lane. And I always just ride his ass, make fun of him, and then I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like, I can't really be doing the same things that I wanted to do before, because it's like a different thing now, you know?
Yeah, for sure. For reference for other people that maybe don't watch as much competitive eating, and maybe they watch other sports, if you were to compare yourself as an athlete to another athlete that people would know, what's your comparison?
I don't want to. I mean, off the top of my head, I'm thinking, what's that fat guy from Mike Tyson's Punch Out? Is it King Kong? That guy?
Okay,
like
game changer. Yeah, okay.
The guy that you have to keep hitting it in the stomach, and his pants fall down. No, I don't know. I think it's funny. We just, at the Blueberry contest, I was joking because there was like a national pickleball tournament or something. I'm like, who's less of an athlete here? Is it us or the pickleball players? And like, I was just joking, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm like,
I'm saying you guys are more of athletes than the pickleball people.
As a sport, yeah.
Anything you can get paid to do, and it's a competition, it's a sport to me.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. It just was kind of, I always just joke because like the league doesn't take it nearly as serious as we do, which is fine, but we take the eating part very serious. All the other stuff is like hilarious to me still, but it's not lost on me, like the whole spectacle of it, sideshow thing. But the eating part itself, like we take it pretty committed to it and take it very serious. So with that said, I'd say it's above darts in somewhere between bowling, or below bowling, because bowling is very high skilled and darts is
Who's in charge?
I don't know, somewhere in there,
I think of it as like, what would I rather do? Go bowling or try and eat or drink as much milk, which you have the world record for, I think. Drink as much milk in an hour than I can, and I would rather go bowling. So much more respect to the eaters.
Yeah, exactly. That's much more of a challenge.
I guess like the eating thing is something you always have to do, and it's very relatable to people, and especially when it's a food where it's like a number and you can count it. Those are the best ones because they're like, oh, I can eat like 3 hot dogs, and then like, holy crap, like whatever, 58 or whatever that's a lot. So
yeah. What's the food that like you don't like in contest? If you had to pick one that's you're like, all right, I'll do the contest, but that was rough.
I think it would just, even to this day, I'll do foods I don't like. Like I don't like spicy stuff. So that's probably the only thing I'd draw the line if they wanted me to do like a ghost pepper thing or like eating like those peppers, because like I know people that have like really serious damage themselves from it. Yeah. So, but besides that, I'll eat anything. I don't care. It's like I'll eat insects. I've eaten them. Raw eggs is kind of gross, but I don't know. You gotta do what you gotta do. So raw oysters I don't really love. They kind of gross me out, but I've done all of it in competition. Yeah. So
Patrick, what happened at the fudge eating contest? I saw something that someone went poorly for you there.
That was really difficult to eat. It's one of those things where if you're tasting the food, it's a bad day. And I had done all these practices, and nothing against the people that made the fudge. It was good, I guess. I just don't like fudge, and it really just bothered me the whole time, and very nauseating. And I think James Webb, he's telling me how good I am. I'm like, dude, he ate 13 pounds in 8 minutes. I'm like, that's the most impressive record to be like, because I was in that contest and he ate like 7 or 8, and he just embarrassed me there. So that was very, it was just disgusting. I totally forgot about it, blocked it out of my memory until you brought it up.
There we go. So on the other side of that, if you got to pick a food and the amount of time for a competition, like your choice, you think you could beat anybody else, you enjoy it the most, that kind of thing, what would it be?
It's hard. I don't have one per se, but I just go off of like certain records I'm really proud of. Like the blueberries I'm very proud of because I felt good. The jalapeno one is good, like 275 and 8 pickled jalapenos. So I don't know if that makes sense. I guess I would just pick that, but it just depends on like the day, and there's not any food that I would avoid. So it doesn't really, and I don't know that I'm really that much better at any food than anyone else. I don't have like a secret to it. So I'd say just probably jalapenos because they don't bother me.
That's too spicy for me. If you were talking, you don't like spicy, I'd be like, all right, I'm out. I'm out of the jalapenos.
Well, they're pickled, but that almost makes it worse. They're softer that way, but the vinegar really does it. So.
Yeah.
I was just say, is there something you wish people watching the competitions knew? Because people, watch these a lot of times. If they're seeing one on TV, it's the Nathans. They see it for 10 minutes. They make some judgments. They move on, whatever. But like, is there something you wish people knew? The backstory of these competitions, or basically something you wish the viewers knew.
I guess the only thing really is there's like a whole circuit to it, and there is like more events. But for this event, this past year, I just wish people knew that I had nothing to do with Joey not being allowed to eat, because of the amount of trashing I'm getting that I'm not a real champion. I'm like, dude, I was just eating. I had nothing to do with this,
Yeah.
So
that's wild.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
like you said, you had nothing to do with it, and then I'm sure you would have liked to go against him because that's part of like the sport.
Yeah, he's like one of my good friends. He's like my older brother. Like we started at about the same time. So like, I don't know. I have people posting pictures with me in the belt, and it's like, he's not a real champ unless I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, you could give me like a week before people like, I totally get the internet, and like half of people are always going to be against you. And it doesn't really bother me. I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like and I knew this going in, and I think it's a valid point. He wasn't there, but it's like, what am I supposed to do about it? I think 58 is pretty respectable.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
kidding.
we were talking a few weeks ago about how many we could eat in, I can't remember, 10 minutes or something. Jared thinks he could do 8 hot dogs, I think, and my number was higher, but yeah, nowhere
nobody even thinks they're
near
anywhere close. Yeah,
58.
nobody thinks they're anywhere close. Yeah. So how do you? I've heard a lot of things about how you recover and that sort of thing. Do you do anything to pump yourself up before these competitions? Are there like competitive eating highlight reels that you watch right before to pump yourself up?
I just music kind of helps, but I drank a couple of Monsters the day of, and I was like microdosing almonds and some other stuff. Just in years past, I just relied way too heavily on me having a great day, and I listened too much to what Joey was doing and like what he would tell me. It was right for him, but not right for me. And I think just the natural energy, and I was actually really a little bit of nerves too, because like probably 20 minutes before, or maybe half an hour, I like went and saw my family. They were there, and my dad afterwards like, "You look nervous." I'm like, I actually was. Like, I had my stomach hurt, and then like 15 minutes before I relaxed. So I think the anxiety and the nerves helped too.
Yeah. Get in that weird zone where it works.
Yeah, and it's like the last 2 events, I'm like, man, this is what I always was chasing. Like, because stuff like this would just happen where I'm like, oh my god, I ate really well, like my brain shut off, but it didn't happen very often. And to have it happen twice in a row, I'm like, this is great. So hopefully the next event I do is like a Wendy's Nuggets. Hopefully I don't do horrible, but I think I'll be able to carry the momentum and keep it going.
Yeah, that actually sounds delicious.
But you said you don't really taste the food, right? If you're doing it right, you don't taste the food. You just kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna matter. I'm just like I said, like certain days you just have it, and I don't know, for whatever reason the last 2, and yeah, if you taste it, like the only other time besides the fudge that really bothered me was chili spaghetti, which was Skyline Chili in Ohio, like a long time.
Yep. Oh God. Yeah.
That could be rough. So I gotta ask,
yeah,
is there an after party after like the Nathan's hot dog? Like Super Bowl's got one. Is there a big after party?
Yeah, one of my good friends, Crazy Legs, always organizes it, and he's eaten in the 4th a bunch of times. He didn't make it this year, but he does, and it's just a lot. It's very tame now. Like, it used to get out of control, and I don't drink anymore. So like I went and we just hung out, and it used to be. I would always say, or been saying recently, it borders on like dangerous, where it's like the energy is so crazy but so much fun, and just a little bit different now, but it still is a great time, and we all have the same bad hardwiring where we decided to do these contests. So like it's just shared misery and shared camaraderie with all the other eaters from all around the US and the world. So
yeah, that's awesome. I was thinking it would just be tough to get booze down, but you said you don't drink.
Yeah, I mean, it's you find a way. You would in years past, you'd find a way. So.
Yeah. Was there a competition that was easier than you thought it would be? I know you probably eat a lot of these meals before, so you kind of know what it's like eating a lot of them, but was there one that you just went and you're like, this is way easier than I thought?
I think maybe it was the blueberries, because I practiced it. I think I did 15 pounds in the last practice, and I don't know. I think that was it, because I think when I went up like 3 pounds, so like the day of, they just were a lot easier, I guess. And maybe maybe I just got used to it. So it's probably all of the above. But those were easy, man. I was like hunched over the whole time, and it's not a good position to be in, but to do that and eat 18 and a half pounds while I'm like bent over is pretty good,
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. So Paul or Steed and I were having a debate on the last podcast about what the saddest food to bring to a party is. So like show up to a party. I know you're a chef as well, so I want to hear your thoughts on this. Our number one was my number one was like the store-bought veggie tray with the ranch dip in the middle. Like nobody wants that.
Oh yeah.
And Steed said the tortilla chips, like Tostitos tortilla chips and just the Tostitos jar of salsa.
Oh my God. Those are both excellent. Yeah, my favorite joke to do is I think I did in high school once, and people get mad and it's hilarious, is you just bring like an empty pizza box and you carry it in like it's full and like drop it off. And people get so pissed when they find out it's just like empty. So I'd say that's the best. No, I think
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think those two are excellent. The Tostitos are the crappy like picante salsa is bad. And I hate the crudité dip with the raw vegetables. Like if they don't blanch the broccoli or the cauliflower, who wants to eat that stuff that just dries
that's exactly what we said.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hate
the cherry
hate
tomato that
so
doesn't pick up any sauce. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the winner, but you guys nailed it. The second one is those chips, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got the big like, Hollywood production of the Nathan's contest, but is there one that like the guys in the MLE like either like a record or a competition that you guys see as like the one that sets an eater above the rest? Like is actually the more impressive than eating the hot dogs?
Or just or another one you look forward to a lot. Maybe not more than the Nathans, but another one you guys really look forward to as a group.
I think unfortunately it is all reliant on the hot dogs, and which kind of sucks because like that was the biggest. I mean, it's just it's not that it sucks, but it's just very difficult to eat those, and it's a very specific skill set. Like talking to Joey, he was like that you just got to win that one, and that's all that matter. That's all that counts, and then the rest of the year, like he kind of uses. He'll lose the rest of the year sometimes for motivation, to get himself going. But besides that, the only other one there's been several, but the Wing Bowl in Philly was that was an incredible competition.
Yeah, I do know. I'm from upstate New York, so wing contest. I know they get pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was like they fill the stadium where the Flyers play. It's at 5 a.m, so all the people will go there, close the bars out, tailgate in the parking lot, get super wasted, and just pass out. And then, I think I won it one year, that would have been the highlight of my career besides Nathan's. But just going there, out of all the years I ate, maybe 4 or 5 years, 6 years, I don't know. I think I went more times just to party because it was just a spectacle that didn't seem legal or right in any stretch. So
it's like the Waste Management Open the PGA has.
Oh yeah, yep. And the story, they like the local guys, so they'd bring us in. But it's funny you brought that up because their champion was El Wingador, which was a garbage truck driver or garbage man, I guess you'd say. Yeah, waste management. Yep.
Nice. So, chef wise, what is your best meal that you cook, Patrick?
Oh man. I mean, I was doing like gourmet walking tacos, which I'm pretty proud of, but I don't really have something like that. I guess my stock answer is my favorite thing to make would be like soups or sauces. Those I seek the most pleasure. I get the most pleasure out of that. But besides the walking tacos, I mean, I do something a few times and I get kind of tired of it. So I don't really have anything that I could say where I wasn't just BSing you that I think I do the best. I think the walking tacos is pretty good that we're doing.
I did go to your restaurant. I did. Me and my wife, one of our early dates was to your restaurant. And, early on, we were dating.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
If Steed is trying to impress a girl, what is a good meal that he could make? If Steed's single and wants to impress a girl,
you got to go steak. Are you good with the meats and stuff like that?
Basically, all I eat is meat right now. So yeah, I'm pretty good with the meats.
So if you're doing like keto, yeah, do the meats, and you can do all the grilled. You can do the veggies and stuff, and like, I don't find a steak to be impressive, but like, I don't know. I feel like steak's kind of for dumb people. I don't want to insult people that like steak, but I think it's like
that's how I feel, because you just heat it up basically and just don't overheat it.
Yeah, it's good. And if you find somebody that really likes filet, then it's like I don't. Oh, that's for the dumbest people. Is for the people like that fillet, So I don't know.
So
It's like two-dimensional.
Make a
and like,
steak.
sorry.
If you're dating a dumb girl, make her a steak. Yeah.
No, but it's not just like it's everybody. Like even lobster for me is the same way. It's just it's texture. It's not if anyone you trust somebody that says a bone and ribeye, that's obviously the best cut. It's like objectively, there's no. You can say New York strip, which is fine, but the bone and ribeye is like the best. I don't know. It's hard to argue with that one.
I agree completely.
All right, my last question for you: who do you have in the Kobayashi Joey Chestnut matchup coming up in September?
Chestnut.
I'm excited to see that. I think he's going to win by maybe 20 dogs. That's what I'm taking the over under.
Yeah.
Or if I'm betting, which I will be on that, I'm taking out my savings and I'm betting the Joey Chestnut spread.
I mean, it's really interesting to see, but it's like I don't want to say it's like a Jake Paul fight where he's somebody that's not a boxer, but like Kobayashi's been out of the game for so long, and he never ate against Joey at Joey's best. So like I don't even know like, and also they changed the rules. Like Kobayashi, there's no dunking involved, so like the rules are completely different. So I don't know. It's for somebody that invented the way to eat hot dogs. He doesn't want to do it that way anymore because he knows Joey is gonna kick his ass, and like I don't know. He could do something crazy, but more likely than not, I don't think it'll be like a 12 dog blow up, but I could see like a 6 or 8 dog victory by Joey.
I'm glad I got that because now, my bet is going to be affected 6 to 8. I'll set it at Joey Chestnut -7 dogs.
Basically, insider trading stage. You're basically getting insider info.
This basically, we're going to get investigated.
I mean, if you can find anywhere to bet, but the problem with those is you can never bet more than like $30. Like I think they know that it's a little bit weird that you can't bet a lot. I know a lot of people that won a lot of money on me, but the minimum or the maximum bets are pretty low. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Patrick, I tried betting on you the day of, and I was in Minnesota, and they don't allow betting on, like they don't have online betting during there. So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If you wanted to give me a little bigger prize winnings, I'll take it.
Oh yeah, my girlfriend at the time, my girlfriend now, she's like, we didn't bet or anything, but she's just so spoiled because she's like, I don't know, she went to the one event, once in a lifetime event that I win, and now I think she just thinks this is what competitive eating is, and I'm like, this is not how it is, and it will never be the same ever again. Yeah.
Well, until next year, because I think you said you're competing again.
Yeah, I could see them working something out with Joey. I mean, I feel like, if his Netflix thing takes off, they'll probably do more of them. So maybe he might not be there, but if all things considered, he needs to be eating hot dogs in the 4th. And I mean, it would work against my favor if he's there, but I don't know. I don't want to. I'll take it. I'll win again if he's not going to be there, or I'll try to win again. But it would just be a better thing if he's there, and it'll push everyone, and just better for everyone, except for me if he's there. Well, I don't honestly know if I could beat him next year. But
you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get into it, and now you're pumped up. You know you can win.
You're addicted to winning now.
Yeah.
And it's like people are accusing him of being like vegan now. It's like the funniest, the way that they turned on me and they're supporting him now is like he's a vegan now. Like what a bitch. It's like he's not vegan. The internet is just so hilarious. You can never anticipate what is gonna take off. It's so funny.
It's crazy. And they don't look at any facts or interviews. They just decide stuff like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, and all this stuff leading up to him not being there, it's like I can't really comment officially from their standpoint. It seems it's crazy that he's not there. Whatever, it's business is business, but he's not really eating Impossible hot dogs in his thing. It's like they're just going to be a sub sponsor on his shirt, I believe. So it's like I don't know. It's just kind of crazy, this whole thing. But Hey man, I was in the right place at the right time. So
Yeah, and
exactly.
skilled enough to do it. 58
Exactly.
dogs.
Exactly.
Impressive feat.
Yeah.
I did.
Exactly.
I did put in months. I mean, I put in a lot of work, more than I've ever done. And I was gonna say I'm like the Gerald Ford of competitive eating because he was never elected president. But I don't know. That's a little bit too deep of a pull. I don't think people will get the reference.
Great reference. We talk about old presidents quite a bit on the show. So
yeah,
yeah.
He's a great football player, Gerald Ford, also a great athlete.
Oh yeah, I saw his. I didn't know Grand Rapids had a airport. It's Gerald Ford Airport, and I saw his like bronze statue driving by there. So.
Oh, okay,
there
nice.
You go. There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Steve, anything else for Patrick?
No. Yeah. We're all good.
All right.
Awesome.
We really appreciate the time.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming.
And
anytime.
Congrats. And anything you want people to check
really
out?
Appreciate it.
I know you said you got your next competition's the chicken nugget eating contest from Wendy's, right?
Yeah, if they want to find me on Instagram, Deep Dish Eats. I need to capitalize on this, but I don't have like a store or anything. So just check me out on Instagram and that's it, you know.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
I don't know. Anytime you guys want to chat, just let me know, okay? I appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah,
You'll be hearing from
we'll
us
get
again.
you after the next contest, maybe.
There we go.
Hi, this is Billy Bob Thornton. Welcome to my official website. And as Sage says, what's up?
All right. That was Patrick, the champ, People's champ, Chicago guy. I didn't even mention the Chicago connection. Yeah, he's from Chicago, from Chicago.
We didn't talk about that at all, but we've probably bumped into each other on the street. Chicago's such a small town.
Exactly. Exactly. But happy to have him on. Huge Chubstep fan, obviously. But
I'm a huge Patrick fan too now. I'm a
huge Patrick fan.
I'm going to be following him in all the competitions.
Exactly. Yeah, well, we were in now he's got another 2 fans here in for him, and everybody else is near. Official. Now, we didn't tell him this, but he's our official eater of the show. Yep. Patrick Bertoletti, official Chubstep podcast eater. I don't know what he doesn't get anything from it. But we're glad to have him on.
It's official.
It is official. Yeah, he's our official. Our official pogo.
Like Tone Stobbs.
Yeah, Tone Stobbs is the official competitive pogo sticker of Chubstep. He's the official competitive eater of Chubstep. Show's over. New episodes every Thursday. Email us, chubstep.podcast@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube. This interview up on YouTube at some point soon. Steve's getting all those thumbnails up.
Getting the thumbnails. Got 28 thumbnails done.
The thumbnails are the most ridiculous thing. They're more ridiculous than the episodes because they are, I'm not even going to ask you how you do them because they're just insane.
You know what? I'll tell you how I do them. I look at the blurb you write about the episode.
Yeah.
And then I pick out like several things from it.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, all right, we talked about airplanes and Saudi Arabia and Tanzania. So then I get an airplane, Tanzania, Saudi Arabia, work that in, get some reactions, throw Chubstep in there.
Yeah.
Thumbnails done.
Nice. Well, people, if you want to send your reactions to Chubstep podcast at chubstep.podcast@gmail.com, your reactions will be featured in some of Steve's thumbnails coming up.
I'm going to put them in there.
There we go. But new episodes every Thursday. The show has ended. Be gone.
Now you know you got to go.
Peace. This is Yasin.